Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Planets Through Ascendant series. And today we are going to be covering Sun in the 10th house in the sign of Gemini for a Virgo Ascendant person. And what happens when Sun is in the 10th house and in the sign of Gemini. And Sun, as you know, rules the 12th house for a Virgo Ascendant person. So this whole dynamic comes into play. And this is actually quite different from my series of Sun through signs, Sun through houses. This is now we're combining the sign and the house energy together, and then the planet rules a certain house. So all these dynamics have to come into play for you to understand this position. And as always, if you do not know where your Sun is placed, what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, what house it's in, all your planetary astrological details, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects of the Speed of Light, including all my consultations at this link. So, let's talk about Sun in the 10th house in Gemini. So, as you know, in astrology, 10th house represents your work environment, your highest of impact in the world. It represents your fame, working with authorities, working with government or government itself. Represents fame because 10th house represents the highest house in the sky where Sun is at noon. So it's like if something is in the sky, people will look up, right? So that becomes the house of fame. That's where the sun shines. That's where the moon light comes into play and everybody looks at the moon when they're driving. So that's the 10th house. Then it has the sign of Gemini. So Gemini, to understand Gemini, just think of it in a way that the third lord or the third house, the original third house of astrology, is sitting in the 10th house. So the energy of the third house is coming in the 10th house as Gemini, because Gemini is all about communication, writing, journalism, arts, media, creativity, skills of hands, hobbies, travel, marketing, sales. So the work environment becomes this. It becomes this area of communication. Mass communication, small communication, but area of communication. Then you have Sun there. Sun represents authorities, father, ego, self-esteem, confidence. It's the significator of career and status. Then it rules the 12th house. It rules the 12th house with its sign of Leo. What is the 12th house? 12th house represents foreign lands, foreign places, multinational companies, hospitals, asylums, monasteries, sanctuaries, laboratories. It represents isolated places, represents kind of like the house of self-undoing and addictions. So now, the 12th Lord is in the 10th house. And what this shows us is that your career requires you to be an authoritative position in field of communication where you are dealing with other people's grief, where you are using your communication style, your ability to inform and communicate with people, especially in dealing with foreign places, foreign lands, or in dealing with foreign government, or even foreign diplomacy. Here, the subconscious mind, the dream house. 12th house is also the dream house. Bed pleasures is in the 10th house. This also shows one gets greatly interested in writing about romantic novels. Great interest towards, writing about sexual escapades and, romantic encounters in foreign lands. So they become very good at writers. They get great fame. Their ego, see what this person does, anytime they communicate, anytime they have the opportunity to write, to inform the public, they get confidence. Their confidence is really built when they are in charge of something to do with communication. So this can also mean somebody could be a head of a PR firm. And especially nowadays, in this day and age, PR becomes like a bandage over everything. You see all the celebrities, all the politicians saying stupid things on Twitter and their Facebook or YouTube. And then they have to kind of like pedal back and say, oh no, this is not what I said. So they have to hire a PR firm. And so this is a great area for somebody to shine in terms of helping others with their communication flaws, helping others with their ability to write and handle their, ideas. But especially if here Sun has the support of Mercury. Sun has the support of the Hora Lord, meaning the planet that was operating when you were born. That can really signify somebody who becomes a great author, somebody who can write. This also shows me that you will have to have skills of hands in order for you to be a great leader at work. So whatever work you do, it'll require skills of hands. So whether you're in telecommunication, IT, engineering, writing, surgery, law, this can also be a surgeon. Don't think this is just about writing. This is also surgeon, because remember, 12th house represents hospitals. So that energy is now in the 10th house. So you may have to be in a hospital for your work. You're going to have to use your skills of hands. And especially if Mars, Ketu are involved, shows somebody who can be a great surgeon, especially Surgeon General, the senior surgeon, because Sun in the 10th house definitely represents an authoritative figure. So it's all about communication. Also, when you tend to write something creative, it may not just be about romance or bad pleasure, but it'll also be about self-undoing. It'll be about addiction. You get interested in wanting to understand this side of life. So that's what Sun is doing, as ruling the 12th house and being in the 10th house for a Virgo ascendant person. Okay. So guys, if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Again, if you want to know where your sun is placed, all your other astrological details, my books, reports, consultations, for that, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow with our, I think, Rahu Nakshatra video. I know it's long overdue. Bye-bye.